Good morning, students. Welcome to our online class. This is your second period and the subject is economics. Students, today our class will be in recorded mode. Through recorded video I am going to teach today. Students, today I am going to start a new chapter from Unit 2, that is Challenges of Indian Economy. This is the second unit from Book 2, that is Indian Economic Development. So from this unit, today I am taking the second chapter, that is called Rural Development. The title of this chapter is Rural Development. So this is the second chapter from the second unit, that is Challenges of Indian Economy, from the book 2 Indian Economic Development. I suggest all my students to listen my lecture attentively and watch this video completely. Okay, students? So the topic is rural development. You know, rural means what? Villages. How the villages will develop? What is needed to bring development in rural areas? How the rural areas will be developed? How we can bring development in those rural areas, villages? So students, if you read this entire chapter, then you will able to learn that what is meant by rural area, which areas are called rural areas, what is meant by rural development, the need and sources of rural credit, why there is a need for rural credit, what are the sources of rural credit, with special focus on all these institutions that provide rural credit in India. You will learn that one. You will also read all these issues related to agricultural marketing. All those issues that are related to agricultural marketing also you will come to know after reading this chapter. Similarly, you will come to know about the importance of agricultural diversification. Importance of agricultural diversification. That also you will come to know. The role and expansion of non-farm areas of employment. Why there is a need for expansion of non-farm areas of employment in rural areas. Why there is a need to develop non-farm areas of employment. The role and expansion of non-farm areas of employment, such as animal husbandry, dairy, poultry, fisheries, horticulture, IT, information technology. So these are non-farm areas of employment. So these areas also needed to be developed in the rural areas, so that people will get employment opportunities, those who are not having agricultural land. Next one, you will also come to know about the role and importance of organic farming. What is organic farming? Why it is needed to do organic farming at this situation? What are the advantages of organic farming? What are the disadvantages of organic farming? So all these topics you will come to know. So the role and importance of organic farming also you will come to know if you read this chapter. Similarly, the discussion in this chapter is divided into the following sections. First, introduction. Second, what is rural development? Challenges of rural development. What are the problems that are coming in the middle of rural development? Sources of rural credit. Here you will come to know what are the institutional sources of rural credit and what are the non-institutional sources of rural credit. Similarly, agricultural marketing. I mean, all the issues that are related to agricultural marketing also we will read. Similarly, agricultural diversification, non-farm areas of employment, how to generate in the rural areas as an alternative to agricultural employment. Sustainable development and organic farming. Sustainable development and organic farming. And at last we'll go for conclusion. So these are the topics which you are going to read in this second chapter, that is rural development. Students, listen carefully. It is said that India is a land of villages, or I can say it is said that India lives in villages. India is a land of villages, or we can say it is said that India lives in villages. Okay, this is as much true today as it was 70 years ago. India lives in villages. India lives in villages, that is true. This is true for today and it is true 70 years before also. Okay, at the time of independence. Although the share of agriculture, we have studied in the first chapter, although the share of agriculture in the GDP has declined considerably. Long back, the share of agriculture in the GDP, gross domestic product, was more. But as time passed, there was a decline in the contribution of agriculture in the GDP. So although the contribution of agriculture in the GDP is considerably declined from 53% to what? 14 to 15%. I mean 53% in the year 1950-51. And it was reduced to 14 to 15%. Half of the working population of the country continues to depend on agriculture. Half of the population of India, they still continue to depend upon agriculture for their employment, for their livelihood. Latest estimates show that agriculture provided employment to 40% of the male workers. I mean 40% of the male workers in India are engaged in agriculture, male workers, and 60% of female workers are engaged in agriculture. So it is known to you, 40% of male workers. How much percent of male workers engaged in agriculture? 40%. And how much percent of female workers are engaged in agriculture? 60%. This is the reading according to 2016, I said, 4 years back. Now, with the rapid increase in population, population is increasing rapidly. Okay, the absolute number of people engaged in agriculture has become exceedingly large. When population increased, then more and more people also started depending upon agriculture. Today, more people are depending on agriculture due to the rise of population or expansion of population, rapid increase of population. So I repeat once again that with the rapid increase in population, okay, the absolute number of people engaged in agriculture has become exceedingly large. Therefore, rural development assumes a crucial role in the overall development of the economy. When the population increased, when the dependence on agriculture increased, hence, therefore, rural development assumes a crucial role. The rural development assumes a crucial role in agriculture and has become exceedingly large. It is also necessary to uplift, or I can say it is also necessary to uplift the rural poor out of poverty. I already told you, poverty is rural phenomenon. More poverty is in rural areas. So we have to uplift the poor people who are in poverty in rural areas. We should reduce the poverty conditions of those people and tackle the chronic problem of hunger. We should also tackle some of the chronic problems such as hunger, malnutrition, undernutrition in the rural areas. So this is about the introduction of this chapter. Now let us move to the first topic. What is rural development? What is meant by rural development? Listen carefully. What is meant by rural development? Rural development is a process. Rural development is the process of improving the quality of life and economic well-being of people living in rural areas. I repeat once again. Rural development is the process. Rural development is the process of improving the quality of life and economic well-being of people who are living in rural areas. I mean, whenever the quality of life, whenever the economic well-being of the people who are living in the rural areas are being improved, then that is called rural development. I once again repeat, what is rural development? Rural development is a process of improving the quality of life and economic well-being of people who are living in rural areas is called rural development. Clear? Now, how we can improve their economic life, their quality of life? That is the question. Listen. This requires concerted efforts from the authorities at the levels of central level, state level, local level. I mean, the central government, state government, local government, at all these levels. Okay, at all these levels, we have to